So next to me now is a 1957 Lincoln Continental. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you know everything about this car, but they only made about 3,000 of them, and they were the most expensive American car that you can buy to compete with the Rolls Royces, the Bentleys, and all the other very high-end cars. This was the American high-end vehicle. It cost about $10,000 new, which of course back then was a lot of money, considering a Gullwing was $7,000. You'd have to be a multi-millionaire to afford this car back then. And I could tell why. It is beautiful. I mean, the body shape, the lines. This one here is also in very good shape. The body, the lines on this car are beautiful. There's no rust, no sign of accidents. It is an excellent driver. It's not a show car, but a very good driver. You'll find minor imperfections here and there, but nothing that I would say needs immediate attention. We're going to show you every inch of the car here, so make sure to watch the video in its entirety. Okay, let's look at the side angle, driver's side of this Continental. Huge boat. But you know, when you're driving this car, it doesn't actually feel like a huge boat, because surprisingly, and you'd have to drive it to experience this, but it's got a pretty good turn radius. And I noticed that when I was driving it out the parking lot. I'm making these pretty tight turns. Just so you guys know, there's a small crack going right there. Now we're on the passenger side. And again, there's really no notable scratches, dents. The things I'd point out would be really small things, like for example, that. Just throughout the car, you'll find things like that. Some cracking right here, etc. But nothing's to the point where it's extremely noticeable. Got like a small crack right there. Okay, let's check out this interior. So I mean, much like the body, it's all in really good shape. It's a driving quality car, not a show car by any means, but a nice car. I mean, there's really nothing you really got to do here except for get into this car and enjoy it. There's no rust. Here's the plate. And we're gonna walk you through every inch of this interior as best as we can and show you guys. Everything's really nice and tight. Even when you're driving it, you feel nothing's like flimsy. And you know how sometimes when they refinish things, people don't put it back nice and neatly, but this one, it's all put back pretty well. Headliner's in really good shape. The seats are in nice shape as well. They're plush. They're not coming apart. So is the back. The carpets, I should have had a guy shampoo them. I didn't have a chance. I'm going on vacation in a day or two, so I wanted to get this car up and on the website as soon as I can. So here we are. Now we're on the passenger side. Okay, let's check out the trunk. Trunk looks nice and solid. Just like the exterior and just like the interior, this car is all around in equal condition and all in very good shape. I mean, there's nothing that you need to do. There's no rust, there's no sign of accidents, none of that. The carpet's in good shape. It's got the nice leatherette on the spare tire. Now, I'd love to show you this, but I think it's all bolted down, so I'd have a hard time doing that. Owner's manual. You got your jack right here. It's all locked up, but you have your jack and a spare tire right over here. And we're gonna show you underneath here so you can check that there's no rust. Okay, now to fire her up, you got to lift this up just a hair and turn the key, which I can't do because the camera's in my hand. Let me try this. So someone with a neutral safety switch, you can probably figure that out. But as long as you lift that up just a little bit, car fires right up. Motor was fully serviced. It runs and drives excellent. You don't need to do anything. If you want to drive it cross country, I don't see why it wouldn't do that. Now, there was a few modifications to this engine. Get all the details in the description. It's got an aluminum radiator, electric fan, It is fully optioned out, AC, power steering, and power brakes. The motor sounds great. It runs beautiful, it shifts beautifully, and the suspension feels nice and tight. Just like the interior, just like the trunk, and just like everything else on this car, it is all really nice. It's sorted out to be a good driver. It's got a brake booster, power brakes. The wipers are working. We're gonna show you underneath so you can check for leaks. There is nothing. Everything's nice and organized. There's no funny business, no funny wiring. The lines are absolutely beautiful. No sign of accidents. Okay, let's take it for a good spin. Show you guys how she runs. Take your hands completely off, it'll keep going straight down the road. Everything feels nice. On the highway, it runs straight. Really an enjoyable ride. So everything underneath looks pretty straightforward. Nothing really concerning. Your tires, your tie rods, to my knowledge, they all look pretty decent. Nothing really actively leaking or dripping. But again, I'm not selling a perfect car. I'm sure it has its imperfections, but I like to think that there isn't anything major. So as you guys can see, there's no rust, nothing concerning whatsoever. It's a very clean undercarriage all around. And again, if you're looking for a driver quality, this is it, because you don't really have to worry about anything. Floors are nice. I haven't seen a speck of rust on this car. It looks like someone has addressed and cleaned up the car from top to bottom at some point, making it look as good as it does now.